Hey guys, and welcome back to Schneid's 15. Today we're going to do some stator testing on these King Quad 300s and for the Quadrunner 250s. The Quadrunner 250s, I believe from the late, if you have a late 80s model to the early 90s, some of the electrical connectors are going to be different, guys. But as long as you test the wires the same, we should be good to go for having the same test results. But just let me know in the comments if it is different. I don't have a Quadrunner to tell. Both of mine are King Quads, but I try and make these videos universal between the King Quad and Quadrunner. So if there is a difference, let me know, and I'll try and put something in the description in the future to help the guys with Quadrunners. But for now, we're doing this on an actual King Quad. So you're going to want to, if you're sitting on it, you want to get to the left side of the ATV, pull off your seat, and I'll get to showing you guys where the wires are. A lot of these ones might be a little bit hard to find if people have been in there before. I know on my blue ATV I can see the wires hanging down, but on this one they're all hidden from factory still, so I'll show you how to get them down and how to do the testing. Alright, so coming down here, yours will hopefully not have this big melted spot in it. I don't know what that's from. Still can't figure it out because the frame's not melted or anything. So anyways, somehow that got hot at one point in its life, but I'm not sure why. So besides that, we got wires coming out of our stator, which is located right behind this panel, guys, back in here. Right beside our recoil there, right where my beam of light is, right there. Try and get my finger in there and show you. I don't know if you can see that, but it's right to the left of the top of your recoil there. Right there, there's a thing of wires coming out. It 90s and comes back in behind here. This is just a drain tube. I'll try and just get that out of the way. But your wire is right here. It runs up here, runs in behind here, and runs up into here to a connector. So on these Suzuki zip ties, you can actually pull them apart, guys. They're reusable if you didn't know. So you can take this and you just pull up on this tab and then that'll come apart. So we're gonna pull apart that one, and there's another one under here I gotta get to, and then I'll pull the wires out into here. I'm just gonna pull them down into here so we can test them. Alright, so I've got this down here now, guys. This actually has a rubber cover over it from factory, which I have not seen before. This ATV is pretty original. A lot of these will not be like that. So, you're going to have one connector here. And this is got all three yellows in there. That's your AC current coming from the stator. That's for your charging. And then you have this set of wires right here in this two prong plug. It is for your lighting coil or pulsar coil, or what are other names for it? Pickup coil. They're all the same thing. People just have different names for them from different brands. So we'll pull that off. This plug's being a little bit stubborn here, but you just push in on here and then you can pull it down. There we go. And we're left with this. So let's get to testing. We're going to go in my version of steps, how I always test stuff, just to make sure the process always goes fast, because I'm usually working on somebody's boat. As if you don't know, I'm a boat mechanic, and people pay good money for your time, so you give them efficiency. So anyways, the first thing I do is you check your yellows. So you got three yellows coming from your stator, so that controls your charging. These are AC voltage. So the first thing we're going to do is touch to our tab, and we're going to touch to ground, which is pretty well anything. This is grounded to the frame. It's nice and clean. There's no continuity. That's perfect. So we'll go to our next one. No continuity. Perfect. Go to our third one. Test to ground. No continuity. Perfect. That's what you want, because you don't want it to show continuity like that, because it'll that means that your stator has shorted to ground and it won't charge, so you got to replace your stator. Now our next test, we're going to test our pickup coil resistance. So our test is black and yellow to green and white. These tests are all disconnected. So this wire here is black with a yellow stripe, and green with a white stripe on it, a very small white stripe in there. Anyways, we're going to test between our two tabs. But there we go, I'm touching 117.7 ohms. So our spec is 100 to 200 ohms. So that says that our pickup coil is working properly, and we know that our yellow to ground is not shorted, so that's good. Our next step is to check our charge coil resistance. Alright, so to check our charge coil resistance, we have to test between all of these. So we're going to start on this one and go to here. So we're bringing up 0.6 of an ohm. Our spec is 0.1 to 1 ohm, so we're perfect there. So that's 1. We're going to move our lead over to our other one here, 0.6, and now we're going to go between these two, 0.6, and that's all of them. So that goes to show that our charge coil resistance is good, our coil is not shorted to ground, and that our pickup coil resistance is also good. So this, we know everything from here going towards our CDI is okay. So if this all checks out, you're going to move next to your CDI or your coil. So I'll plug all this stuff back in and put it back together, and we're done. So let's talk about our results. Alright guys, so if your results were within those specs, perfect. Automatically, if you aren't getting any charging going on and you test that one of those yellows has continuity to ground, replace the stator. You're gonna have to tear into it. I have a video, I'll put a link up here for that. I was just going in to replace my starter clutch, but it'll show you how to get in. I actually removed the stator, so I didn't replace the stator in mine, but just so you know, you can that video will show you how to do it. Your pickup coil should be whatever, the 100 to 200 ohms if you're within those specs. Perfect. And I would say if you're just a little bit over or just a little bit under, like within very close, and you still have spark and stuff, I mean I wouldn't worry about it at all. I would say that's probably good. It could be just a temperature issue, that your temperature is off a little bit. And your resistance, you want it for your yellows, for your charge coil resistance to go between the three. Just make sure that you have a combination that you've tested between each one to the other, and it should be 0.1 to 1.0. I was bringing up 0.6, so that's perfect. I'm all checked out there. If your specs are out on those, say, just like I said it before in the video, on just your pickup coil resistance, I would say Suzuki and all the other manufacturers want to sell you a whole stator and pickup coil assembly. It's not a bad thing to do to replace everything while you're in there, because it isn't the smallest job to tear everything apart. So it's good maybe to replace that all. But if you're pressed for money, I think you can buy just the pickup coil and you can splice the wires in and you'll be good to go there. So if your pickup coil tested bad, you can try that if you're on a pressed budget. Otherwise, I would recommend probably replacing your whole stator, because it's not a small job to tear all that apart. So that's everything. If you watched my video prior to this, I did one on how to check the coil already, how to check the resistance of that. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's in my King Quad 300 playlist. We've got the stator covered. Now we're going to move towards our CDI and our voltage regulator.
As always, guys, thanks for watching, and please give the channel a like and a subscribe. If my videos interest you, please click on my channel and check out my other videos.